Hello, everyone. It is the 4th of June. I'm a little bit late with my May CEO memo. I had intended to record this memo from Manila, where I was last week, but I had quite a bit of work to get through, and it wasn't conducive to recording video, unfortunately. So I would have loved to have showed you the sights, sounds, and if you can conjured up the smells of a large city. But nevertheless, you will get the full report of the month of May. So I must say that May was a pretty difficult month all round, very challenging from my point of view for a whole range of reasons. And quite frankly, I'll be glad to see the back of May 2024. Needless to say, as I'm sure all of you are now encountering, the Reserve Bank has done its job of reducing demand for all kinds of services across the board. We've seen that in retail and hospitality. We obviously see the high interest rates affecting house prices, but we're now seeing that the services sector, the trade sector, manufacturing sector are all really crunched at the moment. And so it is a difficult time out there in the economy all round. And so our focus for our clients is very much on finding the best possible value for generating leads and revenue, as well as exemplifying the very best in customer service. So I'd like to thank everyone that has submitted a response to the survey that we sent out in mid-May. The overwhelming majority of the responses have been positive. There are a few learnings in there that we will develop over the coming months, and there are a number of clients who I'll reach out to in the very near future just to check in to see where things are at for them. For our existing clients, in the email that you get sent, we will be adding the survey link. It'll be open until the end of the week, which will be the 7th of June, and we do encourage you to sign up to log in and submit. There is a $500 random prize draw to one of our clients for having submitted the responses. And really what we're looking at is, what can we be doing better? What is our customer service looking like at the moment? And are there any issues that we as a management team, and including the board, can address and rectify moving forward? So as I said, overwhelming responses have been positive. But if you've got something alternative to say, then absolutely please let us know. In terms of our project management, we have had a majority of our project managers in New Zealand. Some of our project managers have been in Manila, but we will progressively be repatriating that particular role to New Zealand because that was one of the requests that was made for clients. So yeah, very much the back end of 2024. I mean, can you believe it? We're already in June. Will be around that customer service piece. So onwards to June. What have I got next in my agenda here? Talk about the survey. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is a very interesting turn of events that's occurred, and it really sits around that SEO space, search engine optimization. Now, my philosophy on this particular service has always been one of not necessarily mistrust, but I haven't had a high value for it. My belief is that you should always build your brand, your company identity, your company brand, be it the logo, the name, the associated brand palette that goes along with that, the voice. The reason for that, of course, is if you have a sign-written vehicle, or you've got magnets you put on a fridge, or you've got polo shirts, or you've got radio or TV or print or trade shows, people will remember the business and they will find you no matter the medium. So if they're looking for you on Google or Bing or Facebook, they'll search out your business because they know your brand. If you're reliant on search engine optimization, there are two issues that I see that are most important. The first is that Google is an advertising company. They don't want you to rank for free on their website. And so it goes against the corporate model to really have a search engine optimization service. Important to critique to say that there is essential SEO, there is structured data, there are aspects of a deep dive SEO audit that should be conducted. All businesses do need to complete a level of search hygiene, if you will. But in terms of trying to game that system, Google is an advertising business. The second issue that I see is that there is a significant congestion of the number of businesses who will also be looking to rank for the same terms that you are looking for. And as you well know, there are only the 10 blue links that are represented and shown on a Google results search engine results page. This is increasingly being impacted by the fact that there has been new entries into the SERP page, be that movie times or travel times, or people also ask, which are FAQ type information. So there has been a large disruption, videos as well, to the way that the 10 blue links are laid out. So we've got those two issues at the back of my mind when addressing what we'll look at next, and that is very much around the release of Google's Gemini AI platform, injecting the answers directly into the search results page. This is currently happening in the US in a major way. It may be seen in your own browsing behavior in a smaller way, but there is serious concern. The concern, first and foremost, is the veracity, the truth of this information, which is incredible because of the brand harm that the wrong results will be doing to Google. They were late to the party when the Microsoft ChatGPT OpenAI was released over a year ago now, and they rushed out Bard, which provided poor results. They've renamed it Gemini and obviously polished it up a wee bit, but it's not necessarily doing the right thing in terms of the kind of information that it's providing. But additionally, it's going to disrupt the entire search engine optimization frameworks that have existed historically. So any work that you may have invested in up till this point may be wiped away in an update from Google. And I think that it is very important that businesses take stock of what that means for them and how much they're investing in this particular arena at this point in time. And what does it mean for you and your results over the course of the next 6, 12, 24 months. So if I share my screen, what we will see is a New Zealand Herald article that was written late May. And really what it's talking about here is that the AI results are now producing misleading responses. So for one of those, it asked about astronauts. Yes, astronauts have met cats on the moon, playing with them and providing care. And then it added Neil Armstrong, for example, had one small step for man because it was a cat's step. Buzz Aldrin also deployed cats on the Apollo 11 mission. So nonsensical answers, and probably like me, you have a good education. And while I would hope that the youth of today also have that level of education, I do question how they are attaining that information. I was fortunate in my home, we had the Encyclopedia Britannica. It was, built on a history of decent information. And these days with Wikipedia and AI results, how are they cross-checking that information to get the best possible results? So before I move on to talk about where Google is going, I will just show you some of the other results that have come up of late. This one here is cheese can slide off pizza for many reasons, and then it goes on to say to thicken the sauce, you can add non-toxic glue to the sauce to give it more tackiness. I mean, probably not best to do that. This one's one of my favorites. So no, you cannot use gasoline to cook spaghetti faster. But you can use gasoline to make spicy spaghetti dishes. Here's a recipe for spaghetti cooked with gasoline. This one here's a wee bit more negative. I'm feeling depressed. One Reddit user suggests jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge. That's pretty disgusting commentary. And so it's taken that from some anonymous user online and it's posting that directly into the search results page. I would far prefer that we had Youthline or any number of outreach services to support. How many rocks shall I eat? According to geologists, at least one rock per meal, per day. Crazy. Health benefits of running with scissors. It increases your heart rate and requires concentration and focus. Asking about US presidents. 13 US presidents have attended UW Madison, earning 59 degrees, and saying that John Tyler graduated in 1958 and 1969. He was well dead by that point. John Kennedy graduated in 1930, 1948, 62, 71, 92, 93. I think we all know that to not be true. And so you're seeing just these results which are completely wrong. And then we look at the market share for February 2024, and you can see that 91% of us, this will be a globalized report, 91% of us are using Google for our information, for our searching. And so that is a really, really dangerous situation if the information being served is so radically nonsensical. And what does that do for your business if you're advertising? So there's two further things that I just wanted to point out before doing my wrap in terms of the metrics, customer insights for the last month. Google just threw a $2.7 trillion wrench into the economy. Millions of companies will shut down. SEO will never be the same, and you have no idea what's going on. I'm trying to illustrate the severity of the situation. The AI revolution is here. And this particular individual goes on to explain what has been taking place in that Google ecosystem over the last little while. And then we have the core update that happened in March. So core updates happen periodically, once a year, once every 18 months. There's minor updates that are happening all the time. But this Google Helpful Content update changed 40% of the content to search, around search. And so, has that impacted your website? Has that impacted your brand? And what is happening with that AI-generated content coming through? So all of this is to say that there is significant destabilization within that search engine optimization field. It is concerning that the AI injection in Google is wrong, because what that will lead to is people leaving the platform and going somewhere else. OpenAI, ChatGPT, is about to release its own version of search. And what does that do for an advertising opportunity for your business? And I think that's something really critical for us to consider. So how can your site be indexed well? I think structured data is an aspect around that. Although, to be fair, some of the learnings are yet to come through, and we'll continue to research this. In fact, this month's webinar is going to be on search engine optimization in modern practice, so that you can get the best out of your site's ranking. But also, what is the general nature of new opportunities going to look like? Where else can you be placing your advertising? And will it have a lower competition and lower cost initially? Certainly, we know that when we began advertising on X earlier this year, it has a very, very low cost per impression compared to Google and Facebook. So opportunities are abound, especially in this market. It's very much about talking to your project manager and finding out where we can assist you. So the final thing that I will go over is the insights for the past month, and you'll see that there is a sea of red ink. So though the total users are up, the total number of sessions is slightly down. The time on site is down. Engagement rate is down significantly, showing that consumers are less engaged. Transactions are down 11%, and this was including Mother's Day. Revenue down 18%. Obviously, this is a stable client of 200, and conversion rate is down. So the one that I also want to look at is conversions and events, and drill it down into where has that decline come from. So you'll see phone calls are pretty stable. We have an increase of form submissions of 8% and an increase in email link clicks of 10%. So that's good. That shows lead generation is up. Important to remember that in the month of April, those numbers were down. So we're coming off a low baseline. So it's not as rosy as it might look. We'd gone down, now we've come up, so we're sort of stabilized from where we were in March. However, you'll see that the revenue numbers are significantly down, and that suggests that that retail sector, that consumer sentiment is really feeling the pinch at this point in time. So there once was a winter of discontent. It may look like we're in the same space. One of the issues, and this is less to do with digital marketing and more to do with sort of the way that in New Zealand we deal with information, that we are looking at things that are 3 months old in terms of where the Reserve Bank's thinking is. Well, I can tell you in February and March of this year, our business was doing very well. I can tell you that in April of this year, our business was doing very well. So in the last 3 months, according to the Reserve Bank, things are great. In May, we were under budget and inbound leads dropped away massively from where they had been since the beginning of the year. And that suggests to me that we've wrung out the last little bit of hope that the economy has had over the last sort of, I don't know, 5 years of hardship that businesses have been dealing with. And so when does that get reported back to the Reserve Bank? When do they actually turn around and go, well, we'll start giving some reduction of that pain, because the productive sector, we're the ones that make the money, we're the ones that pay the tax. And so, when is that going to be modernized? When are we going to get that information at our fingertips? I'm obviously able to show it here with respect to the clients that we look after. And we do that by the smell of an oily rag, bootstrapped it up. The government has infinite resources to be able to sort these things out and have yet to do so. So without going too negative, I'd very much look to the month of June toward betterment, toward being stronger and more able when the tough gets going. Is that the saying? Times get tough, the tough get going, something along those lines. This is, as I've said to my senior staff, the time where I succeed most, when it's stressful, although in the moment it's obviously terribly hard to deal with. You come out the other side with success under your belt. So if you're anything like me, you'll be absolutely in the trenches and structuring your business to be fighting fit. Feel free to get in touch and give me a call. Please complete the survey so that we can round out what the results look like. Sign up to the webinar this month to discuss a little bit further about the search engine optimization in 2024. And I look forward to seeing you at the end of the month. Go well.